You know those situations that start out super small, but then somehow they just explode into total chaos? Well, today, we're diving headfirst into a story that is the perfect example of that.
So this right here, this is pretty much the final, desperate line of our story. Imagine someone surrounded by pure mayhem, trying to explain the unexplainable. But to really get how we ended up here, we've got to rewind and go all the way back to the beginning. And that's really the big question we're tackling. We're going to break this whole thing down piece by piece to look at the anatomy of an argument gone completely wild. Seriously, it's like a masterclass in how one tiny action can have these massive and frankly ridiculous consequences.
Okay, so you know how every fire starts with a single spark? Well, in this story, that spark was a total accident, but it was fueled by some serious frustration and some even more serious heat.
Let's paint the picture. It is brutally hot outside. We're talking 105 degrees. Devin is just trying to get some relief from the heat. Meanwhile, you've got Selena, who's already on edge after a really frustrating phone call. So the tension is, well, it's already sizzling in the air.
And boom, here it is, the critical moment. Devin tries to splash his own face, but he accidentally gets a little water on Selena and her phone right as she's walking past. Now, what's so wild is the immediate disconnect. For him, it's nothing, a tiny accident. But for her, already mad from her call, it feels like a direct attack. She just channels all that anger right at him. They are instantly living in two totally different realities.
And this is where everything takes a sharp turn. The accident part is over. Everything that happens from this point on is 100% intentional. We are now officially in a cycle of retaliation, where everybody feels like they are completely justified, no matter how much bigger they go.
So after trying to explain that it was a mistake and getting absolutely nowhere, Devin just snaps. He takes what's left in the cup and intentionally throws it right in her face. That's it. This isn't a misunderstanding anymore, it's a fight.
And what we're watching? Well, it actually has a name. It's called conflict escalation. It's basically a feedback loop where each person's reaction is bigger and more intense than the last. Devin throwing the water was an escalation. So, what do you think Selena's gonna do next?
Yep, there it is. He threw the last little bit of water from a cup. She comes back with a full bucket. The scale of this thing just jumped up by like a factor of 10. She even waits 20 minutes for him to come back inside so she can ambush him. The game has totally changed.
You can just feel the satisfaction, right? This has nothing to do with cooling off now. This is about winning. It's about getting back at him with a way, way bigger response. And that cycle, oh, it is spinning out of control fast.
So if a cup of water leads to a bucket of water, where could you possibly go from there? Well, the weapons in this little war are about to get bigger, way more destructive, and honestly, just completely absurd.
Just think about how this whole thing escalated. It all started so simply, right? With just an accidental splash from a little cup of water.
But then, it turned physical. That same cup, now empty, gets thrown out of pure anger.
From there, both the amount of water and the intent just exploded with that ambush and a whole bucket of water. And here we are, the logical or maybe illogical conclusion. Devin brings a garden hose from outside into the house to soak Selena in her room. We've officially gone from a tiny splash to major property damage in just a few moves. And look at this. After the whole hose disaster, Devin's brain goes into full-on tactical mode. He's not just reacting in the moment anymore, he's planning. He sets up this whole trap, hiding cups of water like little ammo stashes all around the house, just waiting for the next fight. This isn't just an argument now, it's guerrilla warfare.
So what happens when a fight gets so big that it's not just about two people anymore? Well, you bring in backup. And that's exactly what's about to happen, pushing this whole thing into a completely new level of chaos. Devin actually thinks they've called a truce. He's cleaning up the mess from the hose. But nope, Selena's been out recruiting. She comes back with a whole squad of 3 friends, and they are armed and ready to go. So that one-on-one fight, it's now a 4-on-1 ambush.
Okay, this part is just fascinating. When Devin is like, wait, I thought we had a truce, Selena hits him with this bizarre logic. It's not about getting even anymore. It's some kind of weird game of odds and evens. The original reason for this fight is so far in the rearview mirror, replaced by this strange new set of rules that only she seems to get.
And, you know, more people just means more chaos. The collateral damage starts racking up. Devin's TV gets soaked, one of Selena's friends gets her brand new hairdo ruined, which starts a whole new argument, the hose gets turned on the wrong person by mistake,
and it all just devolves into this massive free-for-all, with everyone wrestling on a soaking wet bed. All control is gone.
But all chaos has to end sometime, right? There's always a moment of reckoning. And in this story, it shows up in the form of the homeowner, who walks in on this absolute circus and forces everyone to face the reality of what they've done.
And there it is, the voice of reason from the outside world. Trina walks into her own room and finds 4 people wrestling on top of Devin on her completely drenched bed. Her simple question just cuts right through all the madness and brings everything to a sudden, screeching halt.
And we are right back where we started. Devin, dripping wet, pinned down, trying to explain a situation that is literally impossible to explain. I mean, how do you even begin to tell someone that this all started because you accidentally splashed a tiny bit of water on a hot day? You can't. It's just not what it seems.
But Selena, she gets the last word. And her question is the one that really sticks with you. The fight might be over, but the consequences. You know, the wet TV, the ruined mattress, the trashed room, all of that is very, very real. It's just a wild reminder that even when the anger is gone, you still have to clean up the mess. And sometimes that's the hardest part of all.